Hello students, I am Swati Mensch from Department of Commerce and Management, Doranda College, Ranchi. Today I will be dealing with the subject Manpower Planning and HRD, which is an important part of human resource management. So basically the content I will be dealing today will be Manpower Planning, its definition, its aim, the process involved in manpower planning, its importance, principles of manpower management, turnover, types of turnover, and causes and effects of turnover, plus its strategies. So, moving towards my topic, we can see the first part that we need to understand what is manpower planning. Whenever we hear the term manpower planning, we should understand the meaning that manpower planning is the process which includes forecasting, developing, controlling, by which a firm ensures that it is the right number of people, the right kind of people, at right place, at right time. Here you need to understand the concept that before starting any business, it is very important to be forecasting the entire things, that what sort of manpower planning you should plan for your industry. Basically, आपको यहाँ पे दूरदर्शी होना है, आपको ये सोचना है कि आपकी इंडस्ट्री में कितने लोग चाहिए, उनकी योग्यता क्या होनी चाहिए. That means right number of people, right kind of people, requirement, their essential requirements, their essential quality and the number of people. तो आपको ये इंश्योर करना बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि आपके प्रोजेक्ट में कितने लोगों की आवश्यकता है. You cannot just go on filling your project with the number of people, as well as you cannot just go on with just reducing down the amount of people. You have to clearly identify. So here forecasting can be seen that how important it is. So, and after that you need to have a proper directing over entire manpower whom you are recruiting in your organization. So, right kind of people at right place. So, the designation in the industry should be very much influenced by right type of people and then at right time. At the right time, if people are not allotted, you can consider the entire flow of work can be disturbed, and you can see the project what you are carrying out will not be proceeded in the actual manner in which it should be carried. So, this all things gives you a proper satisfaction about why it is important to have a proper manpower planning. Then you can say it is obviously very much important that a leader who is taking care of entire manpower planning should have a proper control and direction towards their entire human resource what they are handling. That is why it is said that it is also known as personal planning or human resource planning. So here we can see the entire concept and definition of manpower is clear now. We have a thorough idea about how things need to be proceeded and why it is important to have a proper planned manpower in any industry. Next slide is dealing with the aim of manpower planning. First aim is avoiding imbalances in distribution or allocation of manpower. As in the definition itself, it is clear that things should be properly forecasted, directed and controlled by the head or the leaders, those who are having or being appointed with the others, those who are there in the industry. So basically you have to avoid this imbalances. You have to make sure that the project is having ample number of people in their project so that everybody is having their significant job role according to the situation and according to the demand of that particular place. So it is very much important that you have to avoid this imbalances. आपको उतने लोगों की जितने लोगों की आवश्यकता है उतना आपको अपने इंडस्ट्री में हायर करना बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. So you have to be very focused towards every roles that are there in your organization. Second is controlling the cost aspect of human resources. Controlling the cost aspect of human resources means there is a lot of advertisement as well as the other resources are included in order to hire the human, or you can say the personnel, or you can say the other recruitment team is being hired to allocate and select the people. Proper recruitment and selections are done according to the requirement of that particular industry or project or the company. So you have to be very significant with your every steps that you are proceeding with. You cannot just you are investing money in that particular selection team and then you are not having a proper balance, or you can say you are not having a proper right amount of people at right time at right space. In that case, this controlling the cost aspect of human resources will not be up to that extent. So it is very much important that you need to take care of every allocation teams that you are doing in order to select the people for your company. Third is formulating transfer and succession policy. This is a very important aim of manpower planning. Once you are hiring the employee for your organization, that means you are investing time. You are investing training and development program as well as many other benefits from your industry. So you just cannot remove those proper efficient employees. Whenever there is a resignation or transfer case, you need to have a proper succession policy of every department of every industry so that they can be getting the new they can be enrolled in that particular position apart from hiring and doing the new recruitment cases. So आपकी कंपनी में जो पहले से हैं आप उनको उस हाई पोजीशन पे डाल सकते हैं so that you will not be able to invest more in the recruitment selection process. So it is a very important thing that you need to have a succession policy. According to that, the higher positions can be allotted to the people those who are already related with your company or industry. This slide is basically manpower planning process. You need to follow a proper procedure through which you need to have a systematic way so that a manpower planning can go and proceed in a very systematic order. Firstly, you can say understanding the existing workforce. अपनी इंडस्ट्री में जितने भी लोग जो भी काम करते हैं ये बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि आप उस वर्कफोर्स को समझें. That means you need to analyze that what sort of people are already there in your organization. Their skill, their way of working as well as the systematic way they carry out the work. So it is very important you need to understand them. If you will understand them, you can already figure out that how your work will be carried out and what sort of people you require in your organization. Secondly, forecasting for the future. In my first itself, I said you people that forecasting is very much essential. That means you have to think for the future. आपको दूरदर्शी होना बहुत important है. Before, as you know that in functions of management, planning is the first step. So in planning itself, the forecasting comes into its role. You have to see that what sort of people and what will be the other requirement at the future end. आपको केवल प्रेजेंट के लिए नहीं सोच रहा है बट यहाँ आपको अपने फ्यूचर के लिए भी प्रिपेयर्ड रहना है कि आने वाले दिनों में आपको किस चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है, कैसे लोगों की ज़रूरत है और किन से वो काम करवाना है. तो ये सभी की चीज़ों की प्लानिंग आपको अपने फर्स्ट स्टेप में ही कंप्लीट करना है. दैट इज़ वाई इट इज़ सेड दैट द फंक्शंस ऑफ मैनेजमेंट दैट इज़ प्लानिंग, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग, डायरेक्टिंग, कंट्रोलिंग इज सो मच इम्पॉर्टेंट. That is done at the initial stage itself. So after that, recruitment and selection. When you have already came across this understanding the existing workforce and forecasting for the future, now it becomes very easy to focus on recruitment and selection. Now you can clearly identify that which type of manpower is required for your industry and what can be their qualification and skill. How many amount of people you require and at which place they can be given a proper position. So here with the proper either internal or external recruitment, the procedure can be carried out. Selection, you need to have a set of process where every candidate needs to have a proper distinction in that, and then they are given a proper position in the company in which they can justify their job role. And it is very important, if things are properly taken into care and proper position is given to every employees, then you can say your entire industry, the workforce, the systematic workflow will all be carried in a proper phase. Then comes training the employees. Training the employees. Whenever employees are given first appointment, their first day, the orientation of the job role goes on. After this, they are given proper training regarded with the position that will be given in the organization. That means whatever job role they have been given, a proper training is provided to them by the industry so that they can clearly be focused towards it and they can justify their job role. Also, if in the succession policy that we have already discussed in my second slide, that is aim, in that slide we have seen succession policy. Suppose if some employees are given promotion or they are being transferred to the next job role, in that case also training the employees are very much important. Also, when there is a diversification of job roles, in that case also it is company's role that comes into role and they give proper training to their employees so that they can be having a proper justification to their job and they can do according to the work or systematic order whatever is given to them. So this is the systematic process that needs to be followed whenever we talk about manpower planning process. Understanding the existing workforce, forecasting for the future, recruitment and selection, training the employees. Now we'll go to the next slide, that is objective of manpower planning. First objective is to utilize the present employees fully. Every organization is having already ample amount of employees associated with them. Now it is the role of the leaders, or you can say the top level management, to make sure that every employees are given proper job role and they can justify their job roles. So it is very much important that you hire the right number of people. If the right number of people are already hired, you can have proper utilization of those present employees. So in that case, you can work with those employees only, you can train those employees and you can utilize their skill for proper project governing and other things. Second, to fill up future manpower requirements. That means here we are talking about forecasting. So forecasting thing, that means whatever will be the upcoming requirements that can be fulfilled by the present employees itself. So every year we don't have that possibility to conduct recruitment and selection. आपने देखा होगा हर कंपनी हर साल रिक्रूटमेंट नहीं करती है. दैट मीन्स वो जितने भी पहले से एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं उनको ही ट्रेनिंग देती है, उनको प्रमोशन देती है, उनको ट्रांसफ़र देती है. सो इन दैट केस यू कैन हैव and you can fulfill with your own employees by these promotion, transfer and other cases, through which the morale of employee also boosts up. Okay. Now third point is to check the development of employees for organizational growth. To check the development of employees, as I said, to fill up future manpower requirement. So here also we talked about transfer and promotion, and here we are talking about employees development for the organizational growth. So if the employees are below the age, at the age of 35 to around 45, this is the phase where they are much more influenced towards career development. So if that company itself is giving them an opportunity to develop, to grow and to learn something new, it becomes very clear that that employee will be intact with your company itself. So ये पॉसिबिलिटी बढ़ जाती है कि वो एम्प्लॉयज़ आपकी कंपनी को नहीं छोड़ कर जाएगी, बिकॉज दे आर हैविंग द एंटायर ग्रोथ, द डेवलपमेंट इज़ देयर एंड दे आर टेकिंग केयर कि उसकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को भी कैसे हम बढ़ा सकते हैं. थर्ड, टू अचीव ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल गोल्स इन इफेक्टिव वे. जितने भी एम्प्लॉयज़ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करते हैं, दैट इज़ द foremost थिंग दैट दे शुड बी नोन इज़ द गोल ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. It is very important that every employee should be aware about the focus and goal towards the project or the organization, so that their entire workforce, or you can say their entire steps, can focus the goal. They will not be deviated and they can thoroughly think for the goal of the company. And next is to manage and utilize resources properly and efficiently. If you have hired right number of people, right number of people at right place at right time, you can say the utilization of resources will be done properly and efficiently. आपका workforce आपके हिसाब से काम करेगा, they will work efficiently and they will make sure that the resources that are given to them is used properly. Next slide. Importance of manpower planning. Now the first step towards manpower management. That means you can see this is the first step towards manpower management. So manpower planning, obviously as per the name, it totally deals with the personal management. That means employee of the organization. आप कह सकते हैं अपनी कंपनी के लिए ये आपका पहला कदम होगा. That means if you have selected right people, you can be assured totally that your company will proceed further in a right way at the desired path and as per the demand that it is expecting by the employees. So it is very obvious they will work properly because you have choose the right people, their skill, their talent and their academic background is all related with the things needed by that particular position and they will work efficiently. Second, using available assets for the implementation of the business plan. Using available assets for the implementation of business plan, which means that whatever requirements that are given to them, or you can say in order to complete their task, they can have a very utilization of every resources that are given to them. They should be highly equipped with the role that is being given to them so that the utilization is up to its most and they can proceed properly with the business plan what is decided in the first step of management, that is in the planning phase. And as you have said that manpower is a very important concept and it is also used in the first step itself. That means you have to decide about entire employees of your industry in your planning stage itself. Then coordinates and control various activities in the organization. Now, if employees are properly selected and they are given a proper position in the organization, it becomes very obvious that they will understand their job role and they will act it accordingly. So, it becomes very easy to coordinate and control them with every activities that they are enrolled. Even the leaders, it becomes very easy for them because they are the one who needs only just proper supervision and guidance. The knowledge and the other parts are already known to them and they have to only deal with the things that is given to them. So it becomes very easy for them to cover the entire activities that are decided by the organization. Now comes efficient utilization and skilled labor. Efficient utilization and skilled labor. Now you can see this is how important. If sometime it happens in recruitment, apart from the eligibility, there is a other requirement, that is the experienced ones are required, because they have the experience in working in that organization, so they can deal with that particular situation in a very easy way, and they become very much clear with the idea how to proceed with the systematic workflow in that particular organization. It's not always to go behind them and make them aware about the procedure and the systematic arrangement what is done for them in order to complete the task. So this is how important when skilled laborers are there in your organization. Things become easy, and the part of leader is to just supervise them and guide them. Now, higher productivity. When these all things will be present, automatically your higher productivity will be experienced from that particular organization or industry, because you have a proper manpower in your organization and they are efficient with their skill, they are efficient to work properly, they can proceed with the systematic order, and you can say they can ultimately come up to the higher productivity and they can profit your industry. So it is very much important, and that is why it is said randomly you cannot just go and select people whom you want to recruit. In that case, you have to have a proper recruitment team, and they will select according to the desired position in the company, and then they will bring up with the higher productivity. And that is why we say that it is very important to have a proper manpower planning. Next is your principle of manpower planning. In principles, first is your every business activity. Why this manpower is considered to be essential part of every business activities. None of the business can be proceeded further with nil employees. This is true, and you need to be very much focused with the business activity, that कौन कौन से काम आपके बिजनेस में होना है और उसके लिए आपको कितने स्किल्ड लेबर्स चाहिए. So it is very much important, you need to understand the business activity that is enrolled. So that is the first principle of manpower planning. Second, participative management. That means you have to take care that every employee in your organization is having that skill. As you know, that management is also divided into 3 levels: lower level, middle level and top level. So if we talk about middle level, these are the people, they should be skilled with every sort of work that is given to them in that middle level. It's not that one people should be specialized in only one thing and they will not be aware about the other things. So if this participative management will be taken care by the organization, it becomes very easy to take care and proceed with the work in a systematic manner, and your work will not be hampered in any case in case of absenteeism. Opportunities for growth. Also, your learning capacity, your enhancement and your opportunity to learn different things and to boost your resume, it will increase automatically. Every employees in the industry, if they don't find growth, opportunity and learnings, things become very monotonous. So in that case, you have to come up and bring those learning opportunities and will increase the growth of every individual. So that is also the principle of manpower planning. Social justice. You have to treat your employees in an equal manner, and that is important. Every employees in your organization should be treated equally. The social justice should be provided to them, and this should be covered without biasness in your organization. If things are with the equality, it becomes very easy in the workplace to proceed further, and things become very easy and systematically way you can say the entire surrounding is peaceful and your work is carried out. Cooperation with trade unions. In every organization, you must have heard that trade unions are very common. That means your employees are within this trade union, and if any case of conflict or any issues do arises, firstly they can approach to trade union, and that the leader of trade union can approach to the higher management teams. So things can go in a very smooth manner. So they can build up a proper cooperation with trade unions. So this is important, and these are basic principles why manpower planning needs to have these principles in the industry or organization. Proceed to the next slide. The factor affecting manpower planning which constitute the basis of manpower planning. That means first is exciting stock of manpower. Now here in the recruitment case itself, you will come across different kind of people according to their job role. Every individual in your employees are different from the other. You are not aware about. So you can say if you are dealing with the proper eligibility and experience and you are hiring certain people for your organization, you will be hiring n numbers of people, and those n numbers of people will be different from each other. So everybody will be having their own skill, their own interest and their own talent. So existing stock of manpower can have a proper diversification. Secondly, there won't be any wastage. As I said earlier also, there won't be any wastage of the resources, as well as the utilization of manpower can be done properly. Future manpower requirement that can be also fulfilled in a best way, because after the work is proceeded, you can figure out that what will be the next thing. If things are proceeded in the systematic order, you can automatically judge that what will be in your coming ways. अगर आप पहले से चीज़ों को सिस्टमैटिक तरीके से काम कर रहे हैं, तो ये अनुमान लगाना बहुत इजी हो जाता है कि आने वाले दिनों में किन चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है और किन से हम ये काम करवा सकते हैं. Future withdrawal of workers. In this case, with the absenteeism rate, or you can say with the turnover, you can figure out that what is the scene of your organization and how the employees are turning out, or how the withdrawal of employees are being done in your organization. So these all cases can be studied properly, or you can say figured out in the initial stage itself. If in the initial stage things are figured out, it becomes very easy for the organization to justify or fix those things, unless and until it becomes very major problem for the industry or organization. Next, you can see that how you can analyze the future manpower requirements, and this should be taken into consideration. Future plans of the company, future manpower requirements. First will come across future plans of the company. Here you will come across government plans and program, employment policy, demand and supply, manpower in future, labor productivity, other factors of production and replacement needs. So whenever we'll talk about future plans of the company, it will surely depend upon government plans and program. We can take the example of lockdown. At the initial stage of lockdown, government has clearly come up with the closing of every industry, and they were not proceeded unless until the new notice came into light that the company can be started again. So government plans and programs should be kept in mind, and that should be on priority for any of the company to think for their future things. Okay. Second is employment policy. You cannot ignore the employment policy. This employment policy can be thoroughly given to every employees at their orientation days when they join the company. Demand and supply of the company, that can be decided as per the forecasting things. Manpower in future, that we have always been talking about, that what will be my future requirements. Labor productivity, till now you must have been figured out that what is the productivity, of labor that you have already hired in your organization. That means the ability of the laborers and the amount of work they can cover in the organization, and with respect to that, what is the productivity of the organization and how it is affecting, either high or low, that can be decided by this labor productivity. Then comes other factors, production and replacement needs. These can be any of the essential items, or you can say essential needs, or miscellaneous problems that may arise during the working on the scenario of any of the company in the organization. Then talking about future manpower requirements, direct and indirect labor cost. So here we'll come across all sort of direct and indirect costs that is associated with any labor. Then comes administrative costs. Obviously, yes, the administrative cost is related with the organization and with the well-being of the every labors that are already being associated with that particular organization. So you cannot ignore this administrative cost. That can be cost that is related with the safety for proper working scenario of the organization, lighting facility and other things, safe drinking water, clean drinking water, sanitation. These all costs can be included in your administrative cost. Then overtime allowances is payable to the workers. Obviously, yes, when the workers are being allotted with the overtime, they have to be paid well. And maintenance and repair charges. Obviously, yes, whatever the machineries that are used, it is obvious that the management need to take care of every machineries and that need to be thoroughly checked every now and then as per the demand, and they have to be properly given a proper service and proper maintenance should be done of every machineries in that particular industry or organization. Wages can be paid according to time rate or price rate system. That means according to the time frame or according to the price rate system. These are the two wage system that can be allotted to the employees. Then workers' requirement during peak and sluggish period. That means there can be certain amusement things that is possible in the organization that can be given. For example, once I was working, there was a HR team which worked for the employees. That means in order to boost the morale of the employee, the RJ was called and 1 hour of high music and loud music was played for them. They enjoyed, and after that particular 15 minutes of enjoyment, they came back to their workplace and they worked with more productivity. So you can say this type of motivation and boost up is essential. They cannot just go on with the flow of work that is associated with the industry. If these boosting programs are there with the industry or the company, it becomes that the work is more enjoyable. They can enjoy the work as well as they can work with the higher productivity. So these future manpower requirements are essential and that should be kept in mind.
Thank you.